Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I crochet this super cute and festive winter hat. It's beginner friendly. The pattern is super simple, and it will literally take you 30 minutes or less to create. So if you like what you see, stay tuned and I'll show you how to achieve it. Okay, so 3 items I use: yarn, scissors, and a crochet hook. My hook is a size N, and I use Red Heart Super Saver yarn. This is the color turquoise, and yeah, I love this yarn. It's so inexpensive, but it's good. And I also tried this Craft Smart yarn. It's a little bit smaller. Their skeins run smaller, and I so wish it was bigger, but I'm going to work with what I have. So let's get started. I am going to double my yarn, so I'm pulling from both sides, or both ends should I say, of the yarn. What that is going to do is going to make my hat thicker and more pliable. It's just going to serve the purpose, so you want to make sure that you are able to pull from both sides. Now once you have that, we're going to do the magic circle. I'm going to loop it around my 2 fingers one time and pinch it at the top. That will create a loop, and that is the loop that we need to work through. Let's repeat. You're going to take your strands of yarn and wrap it around your pointer finger and your middle finger, one complete time. Once you get it around, you're just going to pinch it at the top, so that way it will hold the form of the circle. Now I'm just taking my hook and I'm going to pull that yarn that is attached to the skein, and I want to pull that through the loop to make a chain. So I'm pulling that through, and once I have it through, I'm going to yarn over with the remaining yarn. I'm going to pull through one time. That's one chain. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. Now you no longer have to hold the circle because that has anchored it down. So, and guys, I apologize that my hook is pretty much the same color as the yarn. I did not plan that. So what we're going to do is double crochet into the circle. So I yarned over, I'm putting my hook in the circle, I'm pulling through strands. There should be 3. Yarning over, pulling through the first 2, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through the last 2. That is a double crochet. I'm going to do that again. We need to complete 10 more. So I'm yarning over, putting it through the circle, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2, yarn over, back in the circle, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. I'm going to slow it down so you guys can kind of see if you don't know how to double crochet. So yarn over, pull it through. I didn't slow down, sorry. I will be slowing down, just keep watching. The pattern is the same the entire way around. Yarn over, I'm going in through the circle, pulling through. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. This is my second crochet video, and I am working on my angles because this is rough, y'all. So what you're going to do, you're going to count your stitches. Make sure that you have 12 double crochet. And once you have your 12, you're going to slip stitch in the top of the first chain that you made, which basically counts as your double crochet, your first double crochet. I'm just trying to get that in there correctly because it's kind of tight. So I have a tendency of holding tight my yarn as well as my hook. So I'm learning on how to loosen up a little bit. But once you have that in the top, you're going to yarn over and pull through both, and that is going to slip stitch it. And this is what your yarn will now look like. So it's connected, and what you want to do is take those strands that are hanging from when you did your magic circle and pull them tight. That is the reason you do the magic circle, so there's no hole at the top of your hat, and it's just so easy to adjust. You just pull it and make sure that it's snug. Okay guys, so on to the next row. You're going to chain 3, so you're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over one last time and pull through. And the next row is going to equal 24 double crochets. So we are double crocheting into each stitch twice. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through. I'm going through that same stitch where I chained 3. Pulling through, there's 3 loops, yarning over, pulling through the first 2, and I'm going to yarn over again and pull through the last 2. Now moving to the next stitch, I'm yarning over, I'm going into that second stitch, pulling through, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarning over, pulling through the last 2. And I'm going right back into that same stitch. This will be my second double crochet in that stitch. So in the first 2 stitches, I already have a total of 4 double crochets. Remember, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So now I'm moving on to the third stitch, and I'm going to complete this pattern all the way around. Okay guys, now that I'm at the end of my second row, I'm just going to count my stitches to make sure that there are 24. And now that I've counted, I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain 3 that I did, or the only chain 3 actually I did, and I'm going to combine the 2 stitches. So now this is what the top of your hat looks like. For the next rounds, we're going to basically just do a double crochet into each stitch. You start off by chaining 3, and I'm going to double crochet all around into each stitch. Again, just slowing down to show you guys the double crochet in slow motion, but at this point I'm sure you guys have it. And we're just going to continue that all the way around. So now that I'm at the end of the third row, you can see that the hat is starting to take shape and form. I know it looks a little small, don't worry, it has much room to stretch. I'm going to now slip stitch into the chain 3 and connect this third row. And you just repeat the pattern, guys. You're going to chain 3 and you're going to continue to go around, double crocheting in each single row or each single stitch. Okay guys, so off camera I completed the rest of the stitches for my hat, and it really depends on the size of your head or the person's head that you are doing with how many rows you're going to do. But this hat will fit a normal size adult head if there's any such thing. But there's actually 7 rows. Don't worry about my fingers. It's not 6, it's 7 rows. And now I'm going to switch with the colored yarn to do the rim of my hat. So I'm just going to snip off the ends so I can get rid of that turquoise skein, and I'm going to combine my new yarn with the old yarn, basically just by tying a knot to each strand. I am still going to work with 2 pieces of yarn from my one skein, so that's why I'm tying them separately to the turquoise, and then we're going to get started on the next row. or should I say our border row, and it's going to be the same exact way that we've been doing it. I told you guys this was super easy. I'm just making sure that my knots are secure, because the worst thing to happen is for someone to put on your hat and it falls apart. Okay? We don't want that. Okay, so now we are ready to roll. I'm just going to cut those. Don't worry about the little strands. We're going to cut them later. So now we're going to chain our 3. And we're going to start our double crochet into each stitch all the way around, like we've been doing. Okay, so I'm now at the end of that row, and I'm going to do a slip stitch into the first, or should I say again, the chain 3. So I'm going to slip stitch it and join the row together. I'm just making sure that everything is not, I don't want it to be too tight, so I'm just making it pliable by pulling it. And now my final row is just going to be a single crochet, and that is going to border that row. That's just going to secure it, make it a little bit more hat-like. So you go in, you pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2. This is a single crochet. You go in to the stitch, pull through 1 time, yarn over and pull through both. And you're going to do that all the way around. Okay, so now that I'm at the end, I'm just going to slip stitch it right into the first one, the first single crochet. I'm going to cut it off, and I'm just going to secure that last row by doing a knot. So, and to make sure there's extra security, I'm just going to pull it through the stitch and create my knot that way. Now all the little strings that you see hanging, we're going to clip off at the very end, so don't worry about it. It's not an issue. Right there, I'm just stretching it to make sure that that's not too tight, that whoever is wearing it will be able to fit it over that noggin. And one last time. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm just cutting off the longer ends, and I'm going to show you guys soon how to finish the hat. I'm going to turn the hat inside out because that's basically how we're working. So that's the outside of the hat. This is what the hat looks like without the pom-pom. So you are more than welcome to stop right here if you don't like the whole pom-pom look. But this person did request the pom-pom, so I'm going to go ahead and give them that pom-pom. Really simple and easy to make. You're going to take the yarn of your choice and wrap it around the entire width of your 4 fingers. As many times as you think or as you desire. It all depends on the thickness of the pom-pom that you want. I like them kind of thick, so I'm going to keep going. Oh yeah. So I think I'm satisfied. I'm going to clip off the yarn from the skein. And you want to make sure that you keep it the same length that you just wrapped around. And you're going to set it aside, or you could hold it in your hand. It was in my way, so I set it aside. I'm going to take the same yarn that I just used, and I'm going to cut off about 6 inches, give or take. And I'm going to use that to tie around the middle of the yarn that I just set aside. Again, keeping it the way that it is. I'm going to tie this quite a few times, guys, because again, I like my projects to be secure. So I'm just doing simple knots or tying it together. You want to try to get it as close to the middle of the yarn as possible. And I'm doing double knots. I am then going to turn it around and do the same to the other side. I'm just making sure that it's secure. And again, I apologize that you can't see it, because when I'm working, I'm actually working. I'm not looking up at my camera, and I didn't know that I was out of the view. But it's going to get better each time, you guys. And one more time, I'm tying it. Those, the ends I'm just going to leave the way they are, because that's what we're going to use to secure the pom-pom to our hat. Now, what I'm going to do is just combine the two by just pulling them up a little tight. And now we're going to cut. You're cutting right at the bends. You're going to see where it's curved over. That's where you want to cut. That way you can make sure that they all are going to be even. And that's just how you create a pom-pom. Very simple. Now, if you cut them unevenly, you can always redo it, or you can just trim it once it's on the hat, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to do that, because some of them did not fall the way that I wanted them to on the hat. So you just trim it once it's attached. And to attach it, you are going to simply just pull the strings that are hanging, the two long strings. You're going to pull it through the top of the hat. Remember, your hat has already been flipped the right way, so you want to make sure that you keep it that way. And you're going to just insert the strands through the top, and then go in through the hat. You're in the underside of the hat, and now you're just tying them, just like we have done everything else, tying them off to secure it. And I'm going to tie it quite a few times. And those strands are just other strands that were left over from when I began the actual hat. So I'm tying them off as well. And then I'm going to combine all of that together and tie that. And now that I am satisfied, I'm going to clip it. And voila, y'all, that's it. Literally, I'm telling you, you get the hang of this, it's going to take you just 30 minutes to complete. So as I'm looking at my hat, though, I do feel like the pom-pom needs to be trimmed a little, like I stated earlier. So that's all I'm doing here. And that's it, guys. Please thumbs up. I hope you like this video. If you want to see more crochet tutorials, let me know in the comment below, and let me know what you want to see, because I can pretty much do a few things, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching.